Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I haven't posted on here in a hot minute. It's been a while. I've been really busy, but I thought I would do a little video for you guys with my favorite foreign horror movies of all time. I'm more of like a foreign horror movie type of girl rather than American movies. I think American movies just aren't as good in my opinion, so I like to watch things from other countries. So let me know if you've seen any of these and you like them, but hopefully this is like a brand new list for you to check out so you have more stuff to add to your watch list. First movie on my list is Helter Skelter. Now this is a Japanese horror film about a woman who is like a model, actress, pretty much everything, and she's really popular. But in order to maintain that popularity, she ends up getting plastic surgery over and over again. But it's a big secret because she doesn't want anyone to know that she's enhanced in any sort of way. She wants them to think she's natural. And she starts to literally decay from the inside out. This film is actually very similar to The Substance, but it came before The Substance. So if you really like The Substance, you'll probably really like this one. I think that it's better in my opinion, so you could see which one you like more, but honestly, Helter Skelter has a lot more visuals that I enjoy, and I think the cinematography is just more interesting to look at. Next up, we have another Japanese horror film. This horror film is called Audition. This used to be really popular in the early 2000s. I remember a lot of horror blogs talking about it, but no one really talks about it for some reason today, so I thought I would include this. It's a movie about this man whose wife dies, and then he ends up wanting to get a new girlfriend. So he teams up with his buddy who is like a production company type of dude, and he produces films and all this stuff. So he teams up with him and he decides to hold auditions to get a new girlfriend, which weird. I don't know why you would hold auditions for that. But there's this woman that comes and auditions. He's pretty much smitten immediately, but he starts to look into her background and go through her resume and realizes that she's not really who she says she is, and she's actually something entirely different. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but this movie is pretty insane, pretty gory, pretty interesting. Next up, we have a Korean horror film. This is A Tale of Two Sisters. This also has an American remake. Most of these on this list have an American remake. I wouldn't recommend most of the American remakes. I do like The Ring, the American remake. I actually like that better than the original, but that's pretty rare. Now, this movie is about a sister who goes to a mental institution for a while, and when she returns home to her little sister and her dad, she finds out that her dad has remarried this woman who is now her stepmother, and she starts to uncover a lot about the stepmother that starts to become really freaky. A lot of twists and turns in this movie, a lot of plot twists. I didn't see most of this movie coming. So this is a good one if you like a lot of mystery, a lot of surprise, and you don't really want to know what's happening 90% of the time. The movie next on my list has actually been talked about a lot as one of the more disturbing movies that I've heard about. This one is a Danish horror film called Speak No Evil, and it's essentially about this family who ends up meeting this Dutch family, and the Dutch family invites them to stay over at their countryside house. But this Dutch family is a little crazy. Not even a little crazy, a lot crazy. This movie has one of the craziest endings. It's so disturbing, it's so bleak. If you're looking for something depressing, this is a good one to check out. I'm not gonna spoil any of this, you just have to watch it. Trust me, it's really good. Don't watch the American remake though. Oh my god, that movie's horrible. Next on the list, we have Let the Right One In, which is a Swedish film. This one's short and sweet as far as synopsis go. It's just about a 12-year-old boy who is really bullied at school, and he ends up meeting this young girl who turns out to be a vampire. And that's all you really need to know about this story. It's really beautiful, cinematography-wise, acting, really well done. It's kind of like a weird mix between horror and romance, so this one's a little easier to digest as far as the ones on this list go. A lot of foreign horror movies are really graphic and kind of disturbing, but this one If you're looking for something less disturbing, this is a good one on the list to check out. Next up, we have a Korean zombie movie. This is Train to Busan. This film is about a dad and a daughter who are taking a train ride, and then they realize mid-train ride that there is a zombie apocalypse that is outbreaking in Seoul, Korea. And of course, they're stuck on a train. This is like a nightmare place for a zombie apocalypse. So if you want some crazy zombie action, this is a good one. This is one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. It's literally so good. It's one of the zombie movies I definitely recommend the most. Like, it's probably number one on my list. So definitely check that one out. Really gory, really crazy. Next up, we have a very disturbing one, another disturbing one on the list. This is the original Italian Funny Games. There is an American remake that's actually really decent. I like both of them. The Italian one just has a little edge up, but I would say they're pretty similar. This is about a family who has a vacation home. It's really picturesque, it's really beautiful, they have good money. People I would be jealous of until this happens to them. They have these two young men show up at their door and just terrorize them for literally no reason. This movie is crazy for so many different reasons. I don't even know how to describe this movie, but the guys pretty much have no motive for doing this. So if you like those types of movies similar to The Stranger, where it's just like home invasion and crazy people doing crazy things for no reason, this is a good one. It does have some oddly funny moments, but it's also incredibly disturbing. So it's kind of a weird mix, but very decent movie. Very good. The guys in it, very scary. Next up, we have the movie Ju-on. This is the OG version of The Grudge, which is like a widely beloved movie in America. But this movie is honestly way better than Grudge. I don't think The Grudge is very good, to be honest with you. I do think The Grudge is like creepy, but Ju-on just has a better plot in general. It's essentially about this family who ends up, one of the family members murders the rest of the family members, and it pretty much opens up this curse that ends up haunting the house that they reside in. So anyone who goes into the house is kind of cursed and plagued by evil spirits. Lots of creepy evil spirits. This movie is really scary, in my opinion. One of my favorite paranormal horror movies. So if you're looking for something that's more like ghost-based instead of slasher, this is a good one. Next up, we have a movie that I really loved as a child for some reason. I don't know why I was watching this as a kid, but this is a Spanish horror film called The Orphanage. And this movie I really liked as a kid because it was like creepy, but it wasn't too scary in my opinion. It's a very good ghost film, but it's definitely not the scariest or most disturbing on this list. This one's a little lighter, so if you can't handle the more disturbing stuff, this is a good one. It's essentially about a woman who grew up in an orphanage, and then the orphanage ends up being for sale, and so she buys it, but while she's working at the orphanage, her adopted son goes missing. She starts to believe that she's receiving clues from where her son's at from different ghost children spirits. These children are very creepy, so that's why I really like this movie. I think it's a solid little scare. It's fun. So if you're looking for something with scary ghosts that are children, this is a good one. It has a very creepy atmosphere. The orphanage itself is really like beautiful and haunting. So that's probably my favorite part about it, is the setting, but it's overall just a decent movie. Next up, we have another Spanish movie. This is a found footage film called Rec, and it's essentially about a newscaster who ends up listening in on a 911 call to go to this like apartment building. There's this old woman freaking out, and this newscaster is like, okay, I'm gonna go in with the firefighters and we're gonna see what's going on. Turns out this woman's like going insane and has this weird virus that infected her. That's all I'm gonna say about this movie, but if you're really into very creepy found footage, this is a great one to check out. It kind of reminds me of the movie Session 9, if you've seen that one. I really like that movie, so if you like that movie, you'll probably like Rec. I love a spooky found footage type of movie, and the setting honestly makes me feel kind of claustrophobic, which is a good thing because claustrophobia is like my biggest thing that scares me in horror movies. So if you're claustrophobic, this is a good one to scare you. And for my final recommendation, we have another Korean zombie movie. Koreans know how to do zombies, apparently. But the movie is called #Alive. I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I really like it, so I'm recommending it again. This is a zombie movie about a man who is living in an apartment complex when the zombie apocalypse breaks out. And he's already very introverted and likes to stay at home anyways, so he just decides to barricade himself inside of his apartment complex. But then he starts seeing that there's somebody else across the way, like a woman who is alive. So that's where the title comes from, #Alive. But he starts to kind of decide whether or not he should team up with this woman. They like talk across the way because he's like here and she's here. So they're like trying to send signals and messages to each other the entire movie, but he's kind of debating like, should I leave the apartment? Should I stay in it? But this movie kind of confuses me because it's like eventually the zombies are going to get into your apartment, so you might as well just like book it and try to go to like the forest or something, somewhere where there would be less zombies. But it's a very, very interesting zombie movie. Interesting premise. It has great acting. I thought it was really solid. So if you're looking for a good zombie movie, I would highly recommend this one, as well as Train to Busan. Those are two of my favorite zombie movies of all time. I think they're way better than like 28 years later or 28 weeks later. 28 days later though, always a classic. So let me know if you guys have seen any of these movies on this list, and let me know if you have any recommendations that I maybe didn't include in this video. I'm always open to receiving recommendations, and if you guys have any video ideas, let me know, because sometimes it's hard to think about video ideas. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this list, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.